full day of live and local sports talk.
And that is the whole problem with aliens. You just can't trust them. Occasionally you meet a nice one, but usually they turn out to be some kind of big lizard.
The Skraby Show starts now on 97.3 The Fan.
Hello and welcome into the Skraby Show. I am Matt Skraby. Thank you for joining me here today. We have a good one in front of us tonight. Frank Marchese in studio as well with me. Sammy Lev is going to be taking over at 7 p.m. and he's going to lead us into the sunset. I mean, the sun is already set, but you guys get the expression, I hope. All right, so we've been talking Roki Sasaki mostly for the past 3 months. And we're finally at a point where Roki Sasaki could potentially make a decision here soon. And today is that day. Today was the first day of the international signing. Coffers, for lack of a better term, were replenished. And so everybody's allowed to sign now. But he did not make a decision on the team. I didn't expect Roki Sasaki to make a decision on the team. But Buster Olney, as I was telling everybody before the end of Gwen and Chris, Buster Olney, who has been basically Team Dodger this entire time for Roki Sasaki, and here's where I stand on Buster Olney. Buster Olney, I don't think he has any ill will or malicious intent behind saying stuff like this about how he's a Dodger, he's a Dodger, he's a Dodger. Obviously, he's getting it from somewhere. But I think he's feeling like things have turned a little bit because he tweeted earlier today, in Roki Sasaki's past meetings with teams, he has come across as a very quiet, very serious person. This is being interpreted by some teams as a sign that he might prefer to be in a place where he isn't the center of attention in a smaller market or among more established stars. If that doesn't scream San Diego, then I don't know what screams San Diego. A smaller market, check. Among more established stars, check. Those are two things that San Diego has. And last night I told you about it. I said I don't want to get too ahead of myself because this is going to hurt if he doesn't choose the Padres, but I'm getting ahead of myself, Frank. I'm getting ahead of myself. These things are pointing towards a Padres signing. And when Buster Olney puts that out there, those two factors say San Diego to me.
I don't want to do the thing, but here I am doing the thing.
Everybody knows, Frank, that I am an emotional human being.
He's a thing doer. He's doing the thing.
He's doing the thing.
Do you mean to tell me the Dodgers don't have established stars?
Yeah, they have established stars, but they're not a small market.
No, you're right. You're definitely right about that. They are not in a small market.
So that was one of the two things that he said.
I think he was supposed to meet with the Dodgers this weekend, was he not?
He did.
Oh, he did.
He
already.
did yesterday.
Okay,
actually.
so
he met with the Padres over the weekend.
Yes,
He met with the Dodgers yesterday.
Okay, yeah, I knew there was a Dodger meeting somewhere in there. I mean, I would have to assume that you're right. It's a lot of signs are pointing to here, and a lot of the noise that you're hearing is that he's either going to LA or he's coming here. And a lot of course, the big names, as far as baseball analysts are concerned, are saying that he's going to Los Angeles because that's apparently what's better for baseball is if he goes to LA and just continues to make one super team that's going to dominate the rest of the league. Again, it's not an off-season killer if they don't get him. It's going to hurt.
It's going to hurt.
But it's not an off-season killer. And what do you do if you don't get him? Because a lot of guys that you could have replaced him with have signed already.
We talked to AJ Cassaville earlier today, and it's on our website podcast version of the show. I don't know why I'm struggling with talking all of a sudden.
Words are hard.
Yes, we talked to AJ Cassaville at MLB.com, and he said obviously they have a plan B, and that plan B probably includes trading and making some of those moves. See, if Roki Sasaki, I think the other reason why I want this guy so bad is because he solves so many different problems, and I don't think you have to trade Dylan Cease anymore or Michael King anymore if you bring this guy in, because he can plug right into the rotation. And as I said last night, do we know if he's going to be good? We don't. But all signs point to him being good.
I mean, the point of trading a Dylan Cease was we can't sign him, so let's get something for him. That was always, at least from what I've read and from what I've seen, that was always the point around trading a guy like Dylan Cease. I don't think Roki Sasaki coming in should change that. If you don't think you can re-sign him, if you don't think you can keep him, still get rid of him. If it's at the deadline, then it's at the deadline. If it's now, then it's now. I don't think whether or not you get Roki Sasaki should change that.
I agree with that. I think that deals should probably be made near the deadline. If it just, I don't want them to jettison a player just because they feel like they have to. AJ has made too many moves, too many creative things to just get rid of Dylan Cease. And I say get rid of because you're likely not going to get anyone of Dylan Cease caliber back. You're going to get some prospects, maybe some major league ready guys, but Frank, pitchers and catchers report in 28 days.
That's the 13th, right?
12th. 28 days. And full squad reports in February 17th, which is 33 days.
I think you just gave Sam Levitt a heart attack.
I know. Sam's sitting in here, and he's the one going to be out there, and hopefully he knew that was when the full squad showed up. No, he does. But what I'm saying is, like, things have to happen now. 28 days is not a lot of time. They didn't get
Dylan Cease until 2 days before the season started.
Yeah, but they also at this point last year
in Korea, sorry.
Let me see. At this point last year, I believe Jurickson Profar was being signed like today or yesterday. So I know things are coming, but it just is kind of unfortunate that we're all hung up on Roki Sasaki right now because obviously that's going to change a lot of things for teams.
Can't be though. There's still plenty of holes to fill. You need a catcher, whether it's a starter or a backup, doesn't matter. You need a catcher. You need an outfielder. You need more starting pitching. Just because the international pool is open and Roki Sasaki can sign, and because now you finally have money again, doesn't change all of those facts. And it hasn't for the last couple months.
No, it hasn't. Ha-Seong Kim. Actually, let me start with Jurickson Profar first. I saw in the chat earlier that Sports Illustrated is reporting Profar was going to sign with the Padres for $34 million, and I'm thinking that's 3 years. This is not confirmed or anything like that. But if they sign Jurickson Profar to $34 million, I think that's a terrible move. So I'm not even going to go into it until we see some sort of contract. But the further we get into the offseason and closer to spring training, the more I think Jurickson Profar is going to come back to this team. It just makes too much sense. And I also think that Ha-Seong Kim could be coming back to the Padres. He's not going to be ready for opening day. His shoulder injury is just not healing as fast as they wanted, so he's not going to be ready for opening day. Now, what kind of team is going to bring him in and just kind of chance it on a shoulder? I think the Padres are going to make sense for him as well to come back. Now, I don't really know that they absolutely need Ha-Seong Kim.
No, they don't.
But he is a player that people like on the team. He's made some plays for the Padres over the last few years. He won a Gold Glove, so I don't think it's crazy to think Ha-Seong Kim's coming back, but I don't think that's as big of a priority as Jurickson Profar.
And there's another option that Ha-Seong Kim can take, and that is the option that we saw somebody who played in the division take, which is do what Michael Conforto did, which was take a year off, completely heal up all of the injuries, and then come back on a 1-year show-me contract somewhere to hopefully get something bigger somewhere else. That is an option that he can do, because as far as I remember, I don't think he's going to be ready for opening day, is he?
No, that's the news today, is that he's not going to be ready for opening day.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's something that he could do as well. He could just sit out for a year, get fully healthy. If he needs to have another surgery, do it, and get a 1-year show-me contract somewhere next year.
I can tell you, I am not a professional baseball player, and I had shoulder surgery in June, and it's not even the same surgery, but I'm still dealing with the after effects of that. Mm-hmm. So it takes a long time, and shoulders, especially it's his throwing shoulder, which is obviously very important to him because he has a pretty accurate, pretty good arm, and he's going to need all of that to come back. Skraby Show schedule real quick. So tonight And then tomorrow night, we do not have a Skraby show on Friday. We had some things change. At first, it was going to be a Sammy and Skraby Friday show, but then Tony had something happen where he's able to be here and doing the show. So Sam is going to come join us, and we're not going to be doing a Skraby show for today. Sam's looking at me like he doesn't know this, but we texted about it and talked about it earlier. He's a funny guy. By the way, for everybody out there wondering where he went to dinner, Chinese food. Okay, it's not Wiener Schnitzel. Okay, Frank, when you were eating that stuff, were you a Wiener Schnitz guy?
No, never had it.
What?
I never worked up the courage to try it. No.
It's not like it's bad food. It's good food. It's chili dogs and French fries.
No, I'm sorry.
Sam doesn't like chili dogs. You guys are crazy. I love chili dogs. I don't even like chili, but I love chili dogs.
You're here. Well, I'm here. You're there, and we're all here because we're not all there. So yeah, we are crazy.
What?
You've never?
Is that the Inception? Did you just do Inception on the show?
Sure.
There's a dream within a dream within that dream within another dream. Say it again.
Me here, you there, and we're all here because we're not all there.
Ah, got it. I'm a little slow, everybody.
It's been a long day for Skraby.
Yes, it has. Emma Key says the schnitz is amazing. The mini corn dogs. Dan says those chili cheese dogs are bomb. Gonzo says love the Wiener Schnitzel.
I can't have them now anyway, so
yeah,
doesn't
that's
really
true.
matter.
Why am I telling you about this if you actually can't have it? All right, let's get to break because on the other side, I'm going to tell you what the Sunday night baseball schedule says about Padres fans. It says something to me. I'll tell you about it when we get back on the Skraby Show, 97.3 The Fan. Actually, the air drumming there kind of hurt a little bit. I gotta say, I was a little too into that air drum.
That would have looked so much cooler if the microphone wasn't blocking your entire face.
I was drumming the microphone.
Yeah, but no one could see that because it was behind the microphone.
Okay. Next time I'll put my face in front of the microphone. Matt Skraby, Skraby Show here, 97.3 The Fan, Sammy Lev, taking over at 7 p.m. Real quick, the San Diego Food Bank is supporting the Los Angeles Regional Food Bank's ongoing relief efforts by collecting donations of non-perishable food and supplies through Thursday, January 16th, which will be delivered at the end of the week. Items can be dropped off at either of their warehouses in Miramar and Vista. The LA Regional Food Bank has requested the following items for donations: water, energy bars, Pop-Top tuna and chicken, raisins and other dried fruit trail mix, peanut butter crackers, cheese crackers, 100% juice boxes, individual cereal boxes, diapers, and wipes is what they need. So for complete details, visit sanDiegoFoodBank.org/LA-wildfires. This is going to make me sound uninformed, but quite honestly, I don't know what's going on with the wildfires right now up in LA. I know that the wind was really bad the last couple days. I know that they're not out of the woods yet, but I'm just hoping things get a little bit better.
Yeah, and it's still not going great up there, but I think a lot of it is past, and a lot of things are starting to work themselves out to a point. So.
Yeah, I mean that stuff is very, very scary, and
what's even scarier is the person taking a picture of you right now, like he's never seen you before, like he's a big fan that has never been here before.
Turn on his mic.
What I'm trying to do right now is get some action shots of Matt Skraby.
Oh, no.
He's always in the studio. He's always broadcasting, and I'm sure he has very few photos of himself working in the studio. You know, I'm sure he has a dating profile or two out there.
There it is.
Not only that reason, but I figure you might like some nice photos of yourself in the studio.
Okay. I don't have any professional headshots or anything like that.
All right, so just relax, do your job, and I'm going to take some photos.
It's actually
take it easy.
He was the one who brought it up over there. It wasn't me bringing it up. It was Frankimus.
Yeah, take some pictures over here, too, while you're at it, because I'm going to be starting a dating profile soon, too. So.
You're not on the dating apps right now?
No, I am not.
Why did you say it like you were so sad?
I am not. No, I'm not.
We have to stop doing this when all three of us get together.
I know, because
you're the one that started taking pictures. I just noticed something I saw.
We have to stop doing this.
Frank, what is... Okay, here we go. Now I can put the pressure on someone else. What is... when was the last time you went on a date?
By the way, I have a great photo already. Look at that photo of you, smiling.
Oh, that is a great photo.
It's a great photo.
That is actually a great photo. If you don't want to admit...
It's been a while.
Okay. What is your plan for a first date? Because I can tell you my plan.
It won't be dinner, I'll tell you.
Why is it gonna? Oh, because
I can't eat anything.
No, that's true. I get it. Actually,
that was pretty funny.
That was funny. Yeah, the dinner thing. I don't think you guys would understand this, but I've done dinner before where I've paid for dinner and then I never hear from that person again. So I just don't do dinner anymore. I just do coffee to just touch base and see if they're a human being that I might want to talk to again. But I will say the dating world is not for me. It's just not for me. I cannot stand how dating goes these days. It's you talk, you go out, you get coffee, and then you never hear from them again. Or you do and it just fizzles out, which is fine. It's the ghosting that I'm not fan of. It's the ghosting.
They call them unicorns for a reason. You got to find that one that doesn't do that, and when you do, you hold on to it like your life depends on it. That was sarcasm, by the way. That was a joke, by the way.
I don't know. Anyway, my dating life has been on full display today for some reason, and so if you really want to hear about it, go back to 2 p.m. and you can hear it at the end of the first segment because I don't want to go on blind dates is how this all came about. So, biggest fan contest returns on January 27th. Our grand prize is a night in the Odyssey Suite with 20 tickets for you and your friends at a future Padres game. Register your name at 973thefansc.com/biggest-fan and listen when we announce names each day at 9 a.m., 1 p.m., and 5:30 p.m. for your chance to qualify. M. McKee says, best first segment on GNC ever. I don't agree with that whatsoever. Sunday Night Baseball schedule, early season game schedule came out today, and lo and behold, when I clicked on it, I found that the Padres are going to be at home, Petco Park, for the first Sunday Night Baseball of the season against the Braves. So that's March 30th. April 20th for 20. The Padres are playing the Astros in Houston. And then on July 6th, the Rangers are coming to San Diego to play the Padres at Petco Park. I'm going to tell you, I said before the break that I was going to tell you what this schedule says about you, the Padre fan. And I think this is a credit to the fans of Petco Park and how the atmosphere has been completely transformed into a it's a must-attend event here in San Diego now as a Padres game. Out of the 3 games for Sunday Night Baseball, 2 of those are at home, and Petco Park, I think, is somewhere where people are curious about now. They want to see what's going on at Petco Park. They've heard about Padres fans being crazy. They've seen it in the playoffs. But what people don't understand is that is what it's like every single day throughout the season. It does not change. And I get questions from friends who live around the country and ask if that experience is real. And number one, the experience is super real. And number two, if you don't believe it, just come to a game because it's going to impress you. And even now, the Padres, as currently constructed with missing pieces, they were good enough to put on TV 3 times in the first part of the year. But I really do think this is a credit to Padres fans for making it a place, a destination that people want to see.
Oh, and absolutely, 100%. You say the first part of the season. I think they set the schedule up until August, so you're only missing the last month.
They're skipping some of it. It goes March, April, May, June, and then July 6th, and then it goes all the way to August 17th. So they're going to have to figure. I think they're trying to figure out which games would be the best games.
Okay, there's a funny little thing in there called the All-Star break too, so that kills a couple Sundays.
That does kill a couple. Well, at least one Sunday. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know when the All-Star break is this year. But anyway, so...
Yeah, no, it definitely is. And it 100% is a credit to the fans. You guys have definitely showed up.
When's the last one they announced?
July 6th.
No.
August 17th.
That's the Williamsport game, right?
Oh, you're right. It is.
Yeah.
So they know. Okay, I see.
I would say they have the schedule out to that early July part of it, and then they know, obviously, the Little League Classic game, so that's why that Little League Classic game is down the road.
It's the Mariners and the Mets.
Yes.
It's a very random Little League Classic game.
I agree with that.
But yeah, hey, this is good stuff. I don't actually, well, for Sam, I think it probably throws a wrench into his daily plans because on Sundays you get out of the stadium by like 5 or 6 and you get your night, and now your night is taken.
You're absolutely right. I love a Sunday day game. I love all Sunday day games. I love Sunday East Coast games at 10 a.m. because we're done here in the studio by 2:30.
That's true.
Depending how long my post game goes. We know that can vary from time to time.
Different lengths.
But especially at home, I will say, love the Sunday day game. You're out of there by 5:30, 6 o'clock. Have your evening. So is what it is. We don't make the schedule.
3 games is not too bad, but
it is what it is. I don't complain.
He just
I love everything
and everyone.
That's
he
right.
keeps saying this, but I don't believe him for 1 second.
You shouldn't either.
The Padres signed a player to a minor league deal today. It's a very small deal, but we're talking about the Padres and the roster. J.B. Wendelken agreed to a minor league deal. Now, he returns to Major League Baseball after 2 seasons in Japan. He's 31 years old, and he had a pretty good showing over in Japan for the Yokohama Dina Bay Stars. Wendelken put up a 1.67 earned run average across 86 innings, struck out 22% of the batters he faced against an 8.8% walk rate, which the walk rate is high, but they can fix that. I'm not saying this guy's going to come in and like be the next savior, but I do know that AJ Preller is very good at finding these guys who go to the KBO or go to Nippon Professional Baseball after trying a major league career, and then they kind of get on track and they come back. The one I can think of off the top of my head is Robert Suarez. Robert Suarez was playing for a Japanese league when he was returned to the United States and got with the Padres. Also, Nick Martinez.
Yeah,
he was after the Rangers. It didn't work out for him, so he went to Japan. He played there. He got pretty good, and then AJ Preller brought him over. So. The reason I'm paying attention to this is because AJ seems to know what he's doing when he picks up these guys from different leagues.
I mean, you just can't fall into the trap of relying on stuff like that, though. It's a spot relief is what it is. If you need an arm for a couple days, he's probably going to be your guy. You just can't lean on that, though. That's the only thing.
I understand that, and there's gonna be so many different emotions this year, and I think one of them is going to be a lot of patience, because I feel like this team's gonna come together even in the season. Last year they didn't sign David Peralta till in the season, Donovan Solano till in the season. Donovan Solano signed with the Mariners for $3.5 million. I've thought about this. I was angry at the time. Not angry anymore. $3.5 million is pretty expensive for a guy who's just coming off the bench. But Robert Suarez has been a topic on our show, and we did see that there were reports that his name has been shopped in a trade. And I think the big deal about this is that Robert Suarez has an opt-out after this year. And if Robert Suarez, and he's only making like $10 million, I say only, but for a closer, that's not closer money. If he saves 35, 40 games this year, I bet you he opts out. He tries to find a better deal, and he's going to be elsewhere. So these are the players that are being looked at because of their contract situation. It's not because I want to trade Robert Suarez. I get that sometime in the DMs, like, why do you hate these guys? I don't hate them. It's just they provide the best opportunity to turn something into, or turn a trade into helping the team right now, just like they traded Juan Soto. I don't know that Robert Suarez is going to be traded. I feel like with that opt-out, it's going to make it a little bit more difficult to trade it because that other team is just getting a rental then. But, Frank, what do you think? Robert Suarez, do the Padres have anybody right now that can be the closer? Because Jason Adam comes to mind. Sean Reynolds, Tony mentioned the other day, could possibly be a guy.
Yeah, but Adams isn't a guy that's going to be here for too long either. That was one of the big. That was one of the reasons why he cost so much.
I'm just talking about this year. Like, is Jason Adam? Are you cool if Jason Adam becomes the closer in this year?
I mean, I would feel comfortable with it, yes. But I mean, as far as Suarez goes, I don't know. I don't know if he would opt out. He's going into his age 36 season. This is, I don't know, a 35 season. 30.
Well,
he'll be 36. He'll be 36 by the time his contract is up. He's 34 this year. $8 million, $16 million over the next 2 years if he decides to opt in. After the way he fell apart at the end of last season,
I don't know that he fell apart.
Well, he was not.
Struggled a little bit.
He wasn't. He was not as good in the end of the season as he was at the beginning and middle of the season. If he does that again, I don't know. For a closer in his mid-30s, I don't know if he would turn down $16 million to try to find something more on a competitive team.
I will give you that. I will say that that's fair because he's only had one full season as a closer, which was last season. He had 36 saves. Now, if you go look at, let's see, who's a closer? Well, not Diaz because he's making over $100 million a year. But I'm trying to think of an equivalent closer. Frank, give me someone.
I'm thinking right along with you.
I will just say this is really bad and embarrassing. I cannot think of any other closers in baseball right now.
Oh, like any
I'm just going to go Ryan Helsley. I don't know his contract, but
yeah, Helsley
Ryan
is
Helsley.
one. Yeah.
I want to see what he's getting paid because he's a legit closer, and Ryan Helsley is probably terrible. Oh, he avoided arbitration. He's getting paid $8.2 million this year. But his market value...
How old is he?
He is 30.
So 5 years younger. If I were to spend money somewhere, it would be with Helsley and not Suarez.
He is projected for a 6-year, $82 million contract if he goes to free agency. I think that these days, especially with Robert Suarez being right now at the point where he is the guy as the closer, I don't know that he wouldn't opt out. Or I think he would opt out just because he could get more money. And he's going to need that. I mean, I always talk about this. Playing careers and making money during your career is actually very short. Yes. And Robert Suarez is even shorter because he just came over from Japan. He's only got 3 major league seasons under his belt. I don't know why, if he closes 40 games this year, he wouldn't try to get a better situation.
But then again, I mean, that better situation, that's more money that could come from a non-competitive team. Would you rather make money or would you rather win? That's kind of where, I mean, of course, the ideal situation is to do both. But you have $16 million that you know you are going to make if you opt in. You don't know what you can make on the open market, especially if he falters again like he did at the end of last season and in the playoffs. Sometimes you just got to stick with it. If I were him, I wouldn't be considering opting out for $2 million less. When he's going to be 35, the first year of that new contract.
You make compelling arguments. Dominic makes a good point too. Kimbrel is 36 years old, getting $13 million, and he was not very good.
No, I understand that, but you're also going off of, as far as Kimbrel is concerned, you're also going off of what he can be. He's got a lot longer resume in Major League Baseball than Robert Suarez does.
He does, but he's also old and.
No, I agree. Devin Williams making 8.6. So I mean, it's the same amount of money for a guy who gave up a pretty nice home run in the postseason.
Samuel,
I'm going to save most of my thoughts for Inside San Diego Baseball starting at 7 p.m. here on 97.3 The Fan, following the Skraby show. But I will say this: I think, to me, more so than the probability or not that Robert Suarez opts out of his deal at the end of the year, which is probably going to be contingent on a few things. Number one, the kind of year he has and what he thinks the market is. Look, if he can go out and get another, let's say, 3-4 year deal for more guaranteed money, probably will try to go out and do it. But I think for this team in particular, in their current situation in particular, I think it really comes down to, can you stomach losing a Robert Suarez and freeing up that money because you feel like you have a deep bullpen for this year in particular? And that's when Roki Sasaki or not, whether he's a Padre or not, look, those are the questions they're going to have to answer. If they need to desperately free up money, they have to decide how they're going to do that. And look, that's a $10 million off the books with Robert Suarez in a group, in a bullpen that I think is really deep and really strong. And you have other guys that can close. You'll lose Suarez. That'll hurt.
Yeah.
But, could you make the argument you are better off losing Suarez and shedding only $10 million rather than losing a Cease and shedding $14 million, losing Narvaez and shedding a $14 million? Look, those are the questions they're going to have to answer, Roki Sasaki or not.
That is true. Very compelling argument from Sam Levitt.
And again, we'll have more on that on Inside San Diego Baseball at 7 p.m. So you'll want to stay tuned when I really let my full thoughts flow in the 7 p.m. hour.
You know, I always listen to Inside San Diego Baseball on the way home, and I'm like, man, that Sam Levitt knows. I'm just going to steal his takes for tomorrow. All right, when we get back, we'll talk some NFL football, and I have a daily gripe. I also wanted to talk about, the Torrey Pines Farmers Insurance Open Field is coming together, and there are some new additions to the field, so I'll tell you about that, and we'll do that when we get back on the Skraby Show. The conversations that we have in this studio in the commercial break are always fun. Always fun. I was just asking the guys, honestly, if the guys, Tony and Chris, gaslight me. And I'm not going to reveal the answers that they gave because I don't want to get them in trouble. But it was favorable for me. It was favorable for me. I mean, it's true. It's true. People tell me all the time, those guys are so mean to you. Tony's wife, yesterday, you're so mean to Skraby. Chris's wife, every day, you're so mean to Skraby. Those guys, we're not mean to Skraby. He's the mean one. Like, what? What? I'm not going to fall for that stuff.
But it's the bit, man.
It is the bit. It's actually, it is the bit. But today, I got a little angry because, Chris called me stupid, as he does, and I didn't like it, so I went back at him. But they gaslight me all the time. What are you doing, Frank? Oh,
watching overtime for the Knicks, actually. Settling in.
Oh, well, the overtime's over. Knicks are up 123-114 with 1:10 left to go. I can't watch the NBA until playoff time. I do. If there's an NBA game on TV and there's nothing else going on, I'll turn on the NBA game. But other than that, I don't watch until the playoffs. All right. Farmers Insurance Open. So it's going to be coming up here. I believe it's next week or the week after. Let me just make sure of that before I tell everybody, because what are they in the Sony Open in Hawaii last week? So it would be next week, actually. I know the schedule, Frank, because they play a tournament out at PGA West, which is where my grandpa had a house, and so I got to play PGA West all the time out there. January 22nd through the 25th is when this is happening. But as always, the Farmers Insurance Open has many, many players that are great players. Unfortunately, John Rahm is not going to be there because he's a live golfer. Rory McIlroy is not going to be there because I believe it goes up against something that he does overseas. At least last year he was overseas. But here are some of the former major championship winners in the field. Keegan Bradley, Jason Day, Zach Johnson, Shane Lowry, Hideki Matsuyama, Francesco Molinari, Colin Morikawa, Justin Rose, Gary Woodland. Also, Jason Day's in there, Luke List, Brandt Snedeker. Some of these guys, sometimes I read their name and I'm like, oh yeah, Brandt Snedeker was like a name there for a second. He won a bunch of tournaments and then kind of disappeared a little bit. Golf is very hard. Also, let's see, Tony Finau, Sahith Theegala, I think I already said Keegan Bradley. Max Homa is in the tournament. And also our guy, Charlie Hoffman, is in the tournament. So we'll have to try to get Charlie on. But Michael Kim from Torrey Pines High School is going to be playing there. JJ Spawn, who went to San Diego State, is going to be in that. I haven't seen Xander Schauffele in this. I have not seen yet if Xander Schauffele is in it, but I'm not quite sure. But that's the Farmers Insurance Open. Frank, have you ever been to the Farmers Insurance Open?
I have not, actually, no.
Are you I don't really know this about you. Are you a golf person, fan, watcher?
I'll watch every now and again, like when it comes to a big tournament. Like I'll sit and I'll watch the Masters. I'll get the PGA video games and stuff like that, and I'll play and I'll enjoy it. But I wouldn't call myself an avid golf fan, no.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, not many people are. A lot of people don't like watching golf on TV. But what I will say is going to a golf tournament is so much different. And I put out an article on 973thefansd.com like 8 years ago when I first started working here. And it was how to watch golf at Torrey Pines. And everybody always asked me to repeat it.
Find a hill.
Well, no, because Tiger was in town at the time of this article. Okay. And Tiger was starting to work his way out of, being Tiger. And so everybody wants to see Tiger. And people think, well, I just have to follow him, right? No, golf is very different where you need to go at least 2 or 3 holes ahead of where Tiger or whoever you want to see is. You need to either park at the tee box or park where the landing area is. So watch where the marshals are, and you'll know where the landing area is. But if you park yourself at the tee box before all the Tiger people get there, you're going to have a front row seat.
Yeah.
You just have to watch these other these other groups go through. But I put this out there, and I helped a lot of people, Frank, because a lot of people got great pictures of Tiger. You can't just follow him around.
No.
And he's not at this tournament. But if you want to go see a player and it's just too busy, then just go up a few holes. Go park yourself somewhere.
I mean, for me, I would think to park myself at the 18th green and just hang out there all day. So this way I know I'll get to see everybody, and I know I'll get to see the big moment, the finish.
Yeah, definitely. I would recommend also going the further you go out the course, like on the south course, I think it's 13 and 14 or 12 and 13, which goes all the way out to the beach. People don't like to walk all the way over there. So it's a long walk, let me tell you.
Couldn't imagine why.
It is a long walk, I gotta say. Let's see. The Kirk Kenny is saying that Xander Schauffele has not committed yet because he has a question mark after withdrawing today from the American Express. That is
what was his score today?
I don't know. If he withdrew, then he probably didn't have a score. But let me see. What's going on with Xander Schauffele? He's a major winner now.
It didn't start yet. You're right.
Yeah, it doesn't.
I was going to say, because sometimes, like I've seen it in the past, that sometimes golfers will withdraw if they're like way over, don't want to get cut. But yeah, if it's before the tournament.
He must have some injury, so we'll keep an eye on whether or not he commits to the Farmers Insurance Open. The only thing I think is sad about this Farmers Insurance Open these days is that LIV hasn't killed the PGA Tour, but it's killed single events, because now you're not getting the John Rahms, you're not getting the Patrick Reeds, you're not getting, and I know everybody loves Patrick Reed, you're not getting those guys anymore, and that's unfortunate because John Rahm is fun to watch, and now the fields are they're watered down. And I'm as a golf fan, I just don't really find that draw to watch the PGA Tour as I used to, because I don't really care about someone, and this is mean to say, but I don't really care about someone who I've never heard of before chasing a championship. I want to see the big guns going out there and battling each other. And that's just what golf is right now.
Competition is good. But when the only reason why you have competition is because the competition has an unlimited bank account.
Yeah.
That's not competition. That's just hurting everyone.
Well, I was listening to something that John Rahm said the other day about LIV, and he said, when I signed with LIV, there was an understanding that there was going to be there was already framework in place to getting us all back together into one tour. Now, there is not the frame. It's still going on. And so he's still stuck over at LIV, and some of those other guys are stuck over at LIV. Just kind of unfortunate that all of this has transpired, and all of us are going to, suffer because of it. We don't get to see the good golf.
It's not competition. It's not genuine competition if the only thing of value that the other side is giving you is more money. That's just driving a wedge. That's just being an irritant. And as these guys I think are seeing now, it helps no one. It hurts the overall game. It hurts the overall product.
I agree.
As you know, I'm not a big golf guy at all.
Oh, I didn't know that his mic was still on. Can you turn that off, please?
I've never played a round of golf in my life, but I did briefly watch about 10 minutes of that new league with the simulators.
TGL.
And I feel bad saying this because I have a good friend who is pretty involved in it.
Oh, wow.
And maybe, I'm sure there are people that loved it.
Yeah.
As somebody who's not a golf guy at all, it seemed pretty lame.
Okay.
So I did not understand what the appeal of watching that would be.
Here's my theory on this. Tiger can't play real golf anymore. People want to see Tiger play golf. So Tiger put together this indoor golf league for all of his friends so that he could, he's gotten all the big names to participate in this. And I watched it yesterday, and I thought it was really good in the regard of it's good TV filler, like in the background. type of thing. But the broadcast also can't figure out like if it's serious or if it's joking. And it needs to be more joking, I think. I think that's where their alley is.
I did see stuff about it, and it just made me think of when you couldn't go racing, what did everyone do? They just went to iRacing. They went to video games. So it's kind of giving you like COVID flashbacks of, okay, we're playing a golf video game right now, effectively, instead of actually going on a course.
Yeah, I think a lot of people these days, one of the reasons that they like to do this, a lot of people just don't have 5 hours to golf or 6 hours to golf.
Fair.
Sometimes it's an 8-hour thing. Driving there, driving back, playing, all that stuff. People just don't have that time anymore. And I know that there are locally simulators that you can go to. I haven't tried those yet, but anyway, we'll talk golf soon, but we need to do, oh my gosh, I'm way over. We need to do Daily Gripe.
What's annoying Skraby today? Let's find out. It's time for the Daily Gripe.
My Daily Gripe, or Frank's Daily Gripe, is me not paying attention to what time it was. My Daily Gripe is, you guys ever drive through a parking lot and you're waiting, you're looking for a parking spot and you're like, oh, parking spot. And then you drive up and you're about to pull it. Oh, wait, motorcycle's there. Motorcycle's in the spot, couldn't see it. Happened to me today twice.
Or you have the tiny car that's hidden behind the two long ones.
True.
That you think is the spot.
That is true. It's so basically the gripe is when you think you have a spot, but some other lame car, I shouldn't say lame, small cars in there, motorcycles in there. Don't like it. It's my daily gripe for today.
You have a tiny car, please do not park all the way up at the front. Park at the back so we can see you.
Yes, park at the back. Just everybody love each other. All right, that's it for the Skraby Show. I have eaten into Sam's show, which I'm actually kind of happy about because he took so much time on this show. But when we get back from break, Sammy Lev is going to be taking over Inside San Diego Baseball. Talk to you all later.